We call to order the Winterville Planning and Zoning Board meeting for the month of June 21st, 2020. Welcome to all of our board members. Good to see you all again in this atmosphere, in this setting, including you, Ms. Gardner, who is online. First order of business is excuse absences.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good to see everybody tonight. Miss Peggy Clybourne and Mr. Tucker Moore have requested excused absences tonight.
Okay. All right, you've heard the request. What is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to accept the request.
I'll second it.
Been properly motioned and second. All those in favor, vote your aye sign. Do we need to do roll calls?
Yes, we will, because we have,
One online.
we have Romero.
Okay, please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Gregory Monroe,
Aye.
Douglas Caden. Aye. Margie Crawford.
Aye.
Darlene Gardner.
Aye.
And Michael Weldon.
Aye.
Okay, excuse absences granted. Our next item is approval of agenda.
I make a motion to approve it.
Okay, we have a proper motion to approve. Can you get a second?
A second.
It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor, vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Gregory Monroe,
Aye.
Douglas Caden. Aye. Margie Crawford,
Aye.
Darlene Gardner,
Aye.
Michael Weldon.
Aye.
Okay, the agenda stands approved. Approval of the minutes from the May regular meeting. You've had a chance to review those. That was sent to you in your board packet. We entertain a motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Please vote your favor, your pleasure upon roll call.
Gregory Monroe,
Aye.
Douglas Caden. Aye. Margie Crawford,
Aye.
Darlene Gardner,
Aye.
Michael Weldon.
Aye.
All right, thank you. New business, staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, first action item we have on the agenda is final plat for Ames Plaza, lots 14 and 15. So I'll run through just some site data for you guys. This is out on Beacon Drive. This is behind the Chick-fil-A on Beacon Drive, like I said, east of its intersection with Winterville Parkway. Parcel number is 82774. So this will be two lots, 6.9345 acres in its zone general business. So you can see the property there outlined in blue. So Chick-fil-A up here, Winterville Parkway, Sam Jones Fire Tower to the north. Just a site photograph of the site. You can see Aquaventure off in the distance there. It's this property here. This tree line pretty much represents the far property line. Again, just a zoomed in aerial. So Aquaventure here, and then we'll show the plat overlaid on it. So you can see it'll divide it here, 14, 15 there. So this is in substantial agreement with the approved preliminary plat, and planning staff does recommend approval of the final plat. With that, I just got a shot of the actual final plat, and I'll answer any questions you guys have for me.
Probably, I've got to plead ignorance. How do we have a building such as the Aqua Fitness occupied and in business without a final plat? Is that part of this? Lot 14, correct?
So I'm not exactly sure how it transpired, but the preliminary plat does show this as two lots. So I think the initial, if I'm remembering correctly, I think the initial business of Aquaventure was going to use the entire 14-15. They were going to put another portion, they were gonna use the remaining portion for some other business activity out there, whether it be an outdoor pool or another structure, but I think their business model was changed. So the opportunity came to divide it so they can move forward with the selling of the rest of the property as lot 15. But it is preliminary platted that way, so it is in agreement with the preliminary plat, so it's just the final plat at this point. Make sense?
That's fine, thank you.
Are there any other questions for staff? Okay, if there are no other questions, we entertain a motion for the final plat upon staff recommendation for Ames Plaza lots 14 and 15.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can we get it? It's been moved in properly second. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Gregory Monroe,
Aye.
Douglas Killian,
Aye.
Margie Crawford,
Aye.
Darlene Gardner,
Aye.
Michael Weldon.
Aye.
All right, next item, rezoning request, Capital Sutton Group.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Sutton Capital Group has submitted an application for rezoning. The application was the bare minimum after conversations with the applicant and the developer last week. Upon recommendation from planning staff, they have requested to table this until next meeting. So that request would go before you guys July 19th if you so see fit. And I'll answer any questions.
Can we discuss this issue tonight?
Sure, I'll answer any questions you got.
I've got a concern on the RA. If it was to pass, it has approximately, R6, approximately 24% of the subdivision would be R6 by the square footage that they
Sure.
presented. How do we, as a town zoning, how do we control the R6 so that it doesn't look, I'm gonna, two examples, the barracks type apartments on Four Lanes Road, just west of South Central, and the ones just beyond Lowe's on that street there, I can't remember, they look like Army barracks, and I don't wanna see it happen in Winterville. How do we control that, Brian?
Totally understand, and it's a great question. It's the exact same conversation we had with the developer last week. So they simply will put conditions on it. So they could bolster up their application and give the board more guarantees on what their product's going to look like. Those guarantees, we don't dictate those conditions, but they could look something in the line of, will be single family detached. They could, specifically name architectural detail. They could specifically name, heated square footage. They could specifically name, so the list could go on and on and on. So these are conversations that we need to have with them. Obviously, R6 is seen, small lot. Is it going to be a small house? Is it going to be, what type of product they're going to put up there? So they need to come prepared to give not only you, but ultimately council the ability to see what their product's going to look like and to give guarantees on, the product they put out there is going to be one that Winterville's proud of. So I think in the coming weeks with our conversations, hopefully have their application tailored to address just that. So, but that's how we do it. I mean, the conditional zoning districts are tailored for that type of use. So we can go in and hone down and drill down on what they're going to put on the ground, and then with the conditions put on a conditional district, they're bound by those conditions. So anytime we do a zoning permit for a structure, we go to that conditional district, we look at the requirements, and they have to meet those requirements to get a building permit or a zoning permit and ultimately a building permit.
Is that part of the rezoning process, or is that part of the permitting process?
That's part of it'll be a legislative action. So as part of 160D, when we just did all the updates to the ordinance, so there used to be a quasi-judicial hearing where they would have to do a special a conditional use district. Now it's just going to be a straight rezoning. They propose the conditions, the town ultimately accepts those conditions, and it becomes part of that zoning district.
So if they don't come up with a good plan, and I'm just,
Sure.
if they don't come up with a good explanation of what those R6 and R8s are gonna look like in the rezoning request, then there is a legitimate reason to reject it, is that correct?
Yeah, it would be really, how the board feels about their presentation, their guarantees, yeah, I mean, it would be up to the board. I mean, you would,
You know, I know we're only recommendation
Sure.
of the town,
sure, yep.
So excuse me, Doug, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
but, no,
Are we gonna hear each one of these parcels separately, or are we gonna do it as a one bundle?
I mean, I think ultimately the approval would probably be one bundle, but I think to get a good picture of what you're doing, they need to break it out. So they should, absolutely, the R10, if they're going for ultimately 4 different zoning districts on this. If they change it in any ways, it could go down to 3 or whatever. But each zoning district they're trying to go to, yeah, they should tailor it to drill down to each zoning district to give those specific requirements. Absolutely.
It just seems like I would hate to kill one subdivision because of another rezoning on another piece of parcel that's all in that one package. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because some of it sounds good, but then some of it, because I agree with you, the R6, I'm not fond of, but, you know,
Yeah, and I mean,
I hate to lose the whole package
I agree.
because they want to do it as a bundle.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the property, there are some factors that probably play into the design on that. You've got a really big stream feature that comes off Swift Creek that really crunches that property down. If that's the driving force behind why they want to do it, they need to tell us that's the reason why. They need to show us. So ultimately, a rezoning request, you're only required to give us a boundary map. So you're only required to give us a boundary map and a legal description, and that's really all you got to give us. But that doesn't require you to get approval. So on our conversations, especially in this area, you're talking about a 100-acre development, you're talking about traffic impacts, you're talking about a lot of extenuating circumstances out there. They need to get in front of this. They need to give the board a lot more information to give a much better informed or more informed decision. So that's what they're going to. That's hopefully when it comes back to you guys, you're going to have a really beefed up application, and you'll be able to make a really good decision off that information. So.
because in this future land use, the R6 and R8, if it complies with what we researched.
Sure.
That I would go along with.
Sure.
Boy, the Army barracks type
I can't disagree with you one bit. Yeah. Yeah, but if they're gonna use our land use plan for their guide, they need to use it as their guide. So I mean, they need to do their homework and get us some good information.
So the only enforcement we as this board has is either accept or reject a make a recommendation. Is that the rezoning? If they don't come in with a good enough plan to solve the issue, then we either accept or reject it at that point, and that is forwarded on to the town council.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Since this was an action item, do you need any action from the board to table this
I think
matter?
it would be prudent to go ahead and make a motion to table it, yes.
Okay. So we've received a request from staff to table the rezoning request from Capital Sutton. If we entertain a motion, since this was an action item, to table this.
Yes, I'll make a motion to table this.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Gregory Monroe,
Aye.
Douglas Killian,
Aye.
Margie Crawford,
Aye.
Darlene Gardner,
Aye.
Michael Weldon.
Aye.
Okay. Tabled until further information is received. Report from staff.
So you guys have my monthly report in your package, but just letting you know, this has not been changed, but we did get the Kenneth Smith rezoning. It got approved by council at their last meeting, so that one's been approved. Some upcoming projects. Sorry, just disregard the screen that didn't get updated. be looking for our subdivision ordinance amendments. We still gotta get those online. So we're working on getting that reformatted right now, and getting it up to date, with, current standards. And then, so with, some exciting news just on staff level, we're getting some new software. BSNA is our new software provider, so we're gonna be able to use that software to help us in our daily activities, which is gonna streamline our work. So hopefully we'll be able to produce some more quality, like zoning permits, things like that, workflows and all that good stuff. So kind of some cool stuff happening in Winterville. A lot of development activity, a lot of development inquiries. So I think had some people interested in some Main Street redevelopment. So I mean, just everything that we've been working on for comprehensive land use, we're getting a lot of activity. So it's really fun to kind of see it kind of all coming together and piece by piece. So that's all I got, Mr. Chairman. I'll answer any questions you guys have of me.
You're gonna get questions, you know that. Can you give us an update on the Bill Clark subdivision on,
Yeah, so but they're working diligently over there. I think they've got the pump station about 99% done. They got the signs going up front. I would suspect that any time we're going to start seeing them pulling permits, start putting houses up. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen any yet. I actually talked with the engineer for the project manager last week and asked where they were at, and he said as far as he knew, everything was still on go to have everything going within a month or so. So for whatever reason, I think they might have been waiting out the lumber prices. That's just a guess, but I mean, I think anybody that's seen the lumber prices probably can put two and two together. So luckily, it seems like they're coming down a little bit. So we'll start seeing those go up in a second.
Chairman Monroe.
Yes.
Could I speak one moment? I think we'd be remiss if we didn't wish Brian a happy birthday today on his birthday. So,
I appreciate
happy
it.
birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Thanks.
All right. Any comments from board members?
Yes, I would like to apologize for my unexcused absence last month. I've been having some software issues, and I had surgery like 3 days before the meeting, and by the time I got back to consciousness, it had slipped my mind. So I just want to apologize to the board for that unexcused absence.
Yeah, we all have those moments. So, I noticed that the town homepage has been updated. How has that rollout been with regard to the new interface?
So as far as I know, it's going well. I don't know if it's online like it's going to be soon. So like I said, with that software update, we're going to be able to do a lot more things through our website as far as submittals and approvals and all that stuff. So going live, I think they've already gone live with finance. So we're planning to go live with planning and building inspections next month. So yeah, it's rolling along to schedule. So I think from everybody, the user end is really a good transition from the old antiquated software we've been using. So everybody that's been using it on our end has been really excited about using it. So yeah, I think the public will get just as much satisfaction from using it as the employees have. So
Yeah, I know. Initially, when I went to do my utilities like online, like I always am, I had to kind of re-sign up or whatever.
Yep.
And so that month I brought a check and put it in the box, but the next month I was able to
Sure. Yeah.
do it.
It's awesome.
All right. And then I saw Market on the Square last Thursday.
Yeah, really good market on the square. So we'll have a couple more. I think we got 2 more events. So we got a July 4th one and then one in August. But yeah, really good turnout. Obviously, the Toucher Truck's always a big pull for families and everything. But according to Stephen, all the vendors did really well. So I mean, I think you'll see them come back in full force. So we'll have some good opportunities for the Winterville residents to get out and have a good time next week for the July USA birthday bash. Is that right? Yeah. July 1st. That's right.
All right.
Is there any public knowledge that you can give us about what's going on downtown? Tiebreakers is coming in, or?
Yeah, Tiebreakers is coming. I'm not sure exactly where they're staying. I know they've gone in there, and they were, last time I looked in there, they were jackhammering the cement away and putting some plumbing in. So, I'm sure they've got restaurant equipment on order, so that probably takes a little bit of time. So, from everything I've been told by the owner, it should be sometime at the end of the summer. So hopefully that'll be going, soon. So, and then we have some redevelopment of some of those buildings down there. You'll see them getting refaced, some adjacent, buildings down there. So, yeah, it's gonna look a little bit different probably by the turn of the year, I would say.
Good.
Ms. Martin?
Member Crawford questioned me earlier, and I'll share this with everybody about the newsletter. Probably have noticed that there hadn't been a newsletter in your utility bills. Part of the reason was with the pandemic, by the time things were changing so fast and opening and closing, by the time we would get it out, it would be history or outdated or so much inaccurate information. Because we have about a 3-week, have had about a 3-week lead time we're required to get it to the printer and so on and so forth. I fully anticipate that we will shortly be getting back in the groove of the newsletter, so that can answer and get some information out that we've been unable or have not been getting out recently, because I have a good many things that people have shared with me that can go in the newsletter.
But I've seen where you've used the next door neighbor app to get information out too, which I think is probably.
Yeah, if we have things that need to go out and they're more usually timely, we use, of course, the front page of the website, Nextdoor app, Facebook, and Twitter. All 4 of those methods are used. We think that gets a good cross-section of the population. And I know, though, that there are some people that don't have computers and like that newsletter, and so I think, and I'll share that, the questions, and hopefully we'll get that back going here very shortly.
Okay. Ms. Martin?
Yes, and Brian, I did want to ask if we had mentioned this, about Robert Riley,
Yes.
something
So,
in recognition of.
yeah,
all his
so it's kind of gotten, not pushed to the back burner, but talked with the town manager. She didn't want to rush it. So I've kind of put it in the ball in her court at this point. So after talks with her, trying to do something special for him and make sure we're not leaving anybody out. So didn't want to do it the wrong way. So and I totally agree with her. Just be looking for that information at sometime in the near future. So I don't want to give you a time and then it not be right, but we're sure not going to forget him. So obviously we want to do something nice for Miss Trudy and his son Jeff, and so make sure they get make sure he's recognized for all his service for sure.
Are there any other comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Okay, moved in second. Please vote your pleasure upon roll call.
Gregory Monroe,
Aye.
Douglas King,
Aye.
Rachel Crawford,
Aye.
Darlene Gardner,
Aye.
and Michael Weldon.
Aye.
All right, the meeting stands adjourned.
Thanks, Darlene. See you.
All right, thank you.
Good day, everybody.
All right, take care, Doug.
It's got potential to be a long, next month will be. Yeah, yep, so I was meeting with the guys today, trying to get our intakes and all that stuff ready, so we're gonna start training on our stuff. The finance is live, so they're doing payroll through it and everything, so. Yeah, They seem to don't like it. I've done a little bit on it. I mean, you know, from my end, I don't do any much for finance until budget time.
So Sun Guard is out.
So, yes, bye.
Look, I know the feeling, I got down there to Washington, and every department down there has their own software, they don't, everybody's on their own down there, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But, I just bought, last year bought new software for the inspection department, because the stuff they had was worse than what I had for years. And,
What did y'all get?
well, I tried to go after a big software, but it was like 35,000, you know? And council just wouldn't approve it. So